So far the coding we've added has added some cool elements, but it's been kind of boxy and flat. Let's go ahead and work with a couple of things that will give your pages a little bit more of a 3D look and feel a little bit more clean. So we're going to go back into our coding. Under our style, the first thing I'm going to do here is I want to change my border from dash because that feels so harsh. I'm actually going to make it a 1 pixel border, and I'm going to change that from dash to solid. Then I'm going to hit enter and tab over into my style. Now I want to give my border a more of a like an oval look. So to do this, I'm going to change the border radius. That'll change the corners rounded. So we would type border radius, and you can do anything like 15 to 20 is usually good. So I'm going to say 20 pixels, semicolon, and save. So again, I made it a solid border. That way it wasn't so harsh. Then I went ahead and added, border radius, sorry, I clearly can't type today, a border radius of 20 pixels. And I saved it. I'll go back to my file and test. Now you can see it's a little bit smoother. It doesn't feel so jaggedy, and it gives it maybe a little bit more depth. Now, we're having some trouble seeing the wording on here, so we could go back into the style sheet and change that text to white. Let's do that for some additional practice before we go any farther. So I'm going to open my style sheet with Notepad, and I'm going to change the text color, and I could change the list if I wanted, but I'm just going to actually change this here to white and save. Go back and test, make sure it took. And now you can see that the white's a little bit easier to see. I might want to move it over a little in the style, but that's something we could worry about later. I just wanted to give you a visual element on that. So now let's go ahead and add like a box shadow property. This is going to give us a more 3D impact. To do this, we go back to our code for our HTML page. We're going to go ahead and add another line of code in our style. And here we're going to put box shadow colon, and we're going to tell this that we want a box with a horizontal offset of 5, vertical offset of 5, and blur of 5. That's going to give us a nice tight box. So to do that, we would say 5 px or pixels, 5 pixels, 5 pixels. We just list them all 3 in a row. So again, that was saying we had a horizontal offset, a vertical offset, and a blur offset. You can read about the options in your book where it covers CS box shadow property to understand what each of these really means. Now we can add a color that we want our box to be. So I'm going to do pound. And I'm going to make mine black. You can make yours whatever color you like. Put the semicolon and save. Now we'll go back to our file and test our, wrong thing. Now we'll go back to our website and test our file. When it's up, you will see that we have that black box with a blur of 5. We could make this larger or smaller if we wanted. We could also change maybe our box to a gray, which would probably be better. And then it's offset by 5, and it's got a vertical set off of 5. And you could play with your settings in that and achieve all sorts of different things. Like if we go to our style, let's go ahead and change the color here. Let's do 828282, which is a gray. And maybe we change this for you can see the difference to a 10. If we re-render, we can see the offset's a little larger, and now it's gray. You'll want to play with options with that because this is a really cool way you can add some 3D dimension to your website coding.